Everyone's probably been wondering, where is Eddie and Xavier? Well, don't worry, I'm not taking over this channel. They've just been busy opening up our second location down in Austin, Texas. So stick around to see the boys show you our new location, our new vehicle, and how they had everything set up. All right, now the day started with Xavier going down to Austin.
So I'm in Austin right now. I'm about to meet with Eddie. Eddie's been pretty much down and back in here for the last 2 weeks. I'm about to see exactly what he's been working on. And I'm about to meet him at Starbucks. I'm about to fix something real quick, but we'll see what Eddie talking about. Eddie been down in the trenches.
Yep.
I know y'all be like, where these boys been?
We've been over here having too much fun with life, but now it's back to the grind mode. If you don't know it, we're over here in Austin, Texas, here to pick up where we left off, and we're ready to crush it.
All right,
show you guys how we do it, the whole process, the planning, the conversations. So I don't want to hear, it's not possible out of a storage unit, because we're about to show you how to do it.
Well, Eddie, they said you ain't like us no more.
Now, Eddie was already there because he had brought down equipment from the day prior. Now for the equipment, we just bought some of the basics that we knew every event rental business needs just to start off.
We have 200 chairs. So each one of these pallets that we made is 1 foot 8 inches. So we have 200. So that's gonna take like 5 feet. You know what I mean? And I think you said you wanted 500. And then for the garden chairs.
Now, because we were still working on our marketing for Kelly Rentals Austin and working on establishing our name in that area, we kept our inventory smaller. So we just brought down all of the basics that we knew every event would need. And of course, the basics came with tables and chairs. Now for our new location, there were only 3 main areas that we had to focus on when it came to cost. First was acquiring our storage unit. Obviously, because we are having multiple locations, we do need a second location down in Austin to store all of our inventory items. Second, we needed a new vehicle, and this vehicle would stay down in Austin while our main fleet was here in the DFW area. And third was labor. Because we operate primarily in Dallas, we needed someone who would be able to take care of everything down in Austin whenever we're busy up here. Now, because we were borrowing inventory from Kelly Rentals Dallas, this really helped to cut down the cost of what we needed to worry about down in Austin. Now, I will say we did get an investor alongside with just getting funding from our primary flagship. Now, here's a tour of our new storage unit.
So the plan, like I told him, is that we're gonna start, these are gonna be moved over. So the garden chairs here. And then it doesn't matter, black or white. The next row we did, basically, you see how it has these spaces? I told them to worry about it right now, but it would basically be like right on top of each other, each one, so that we can optimize the space.
Yeah,
and then whenever
down here, you said it won't be no space.
No, it wouldn't. It'll be like literally next to each other. And then like once they get clean, they get put here. But the dirty stuff, we'll keep them out there, clean it once it gets on the truck, and then put it on the pallet. And that's why we want to have it this way, because like when we're coming from the door. The dolly will be like on this side, we just get it, and we're going straight into it. First we're thinking about putting it on the side, but then we're having to do this, move that way, and come out this way, so instead we're just going straight into it, so we should have a problem. Right now, basically, I told them, we're just cleaning all the white chairs, and we're going to get them painted up. And then once we get the painted up, then all the white chairs, we're going to put blankets on them. And then the garden chairs, we're going to do the same thing too, so it doesn't get any dust and stuff like that. The black chairs, you know, most people that order black chairs aren't too picky.
Yeah.
Well, we have to paint for them too, but right now we're putting our main attention on that. And I'm gonna probably buy the same thing for the Dallas location. I like the way that they're coming out, and the cost was very cheap.
Yeah. Well, would they? Because we're only doing the one stack wheel out here, right? And this is gonna be closer, or you want to just come from the side? Or they're gonna be up on this one, right?
Yeah. This one. So basically, the white ones that are right here will be over here.
Yeah. So what we put in this space then?
So this space.
Just be an open space.
Yeah, it'll be like open space, but like.
So, yeah.
Basically,
And then
we put parts here, but
if
we need to get the table and stuff. But basically, when we need to grab stuff, we'll have to roll the carts out there. But like when we're just working and stuff, they can stay in.
Yeah. But when we put those racks up, you probably can break 2 of these down, put them up. We don't need them.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like what I was thinking is like one would be for like 108s, and then one will be like for 120s. Then one will be for like 60 by 126. Then one will be 90 by 152.
Yeah.
So that way we cover both sizes for rectangle and both sizes for round tables.
Yeah.
And those are the most common ones. And then those are the only ones that we'll offer because the 90 by 152 will cover the 8 foots. And then the 60 by 126 will do the 6 foots and do your 4 foots. The 108, when we get, I'm assuming we're eventually going to get like 48-inch rounds and cocktail tables. It'll take care of that.
Cocktail tables come first.
Yeah. And then 108 can do 60 inches too if they want to, but if they want it all the way to the ground, the 120 will take care of all that. So I just figured have a rack for each one. And then it also has restrooms. Before I even signed the place, I talked to the people, kind of felt them out. Everybody's pretty cool except one person. I got that kind of understanding the other day. So the person that's cool, he's basically the person that maintains everything. He told me the other day, he's like, hey, I'll hook you up with the key to that lot. Just don't give it to nobody. I was like, all right, make a copy and bring it back to me. I was like, so people like that, you kind of got to see like who you have, because there are places that are like strict to the book, nothing extra, that's it. But this place is pretty cool and pretty lenient. Like even the person that's not so cool said we couldn't park our vehicle here, but as you see, it's been parked here for 2 days, but it's still here, it hasn't been towed. And I talked to that person. He said, yeah, don't worry about it. That lady that's more strict, she'll be gone for a couple of days. Cause I told him like we're still trying to get the title and our business name and stuff like that. So yeah, just try to find the right place with the right people, because it'll really make the difference when they're working with you and not against you. And so anyways, here's a spot. Kind of drove to it. This is spot 52. It has space for 2 vehicles. So basically, we're gonna put the box truck that we bought, we're gonna park it in there. We don't have to worry about it being towed or anything like that, or catalytic converter stolen. And then we're also we're looking for a transit, like a high top transit. We're gonna park that in there as well. So both of the vehicles will be there. Whenever we need to pull them out, our delivery driver will come over here, pull the vehicle out, park his personal vehicle in that spot, and then do what he has to do. So he'll have the option to either use the box truck with the lift gate or a high top transit. And so usually, like if it's not a lot of stuff, we'll just use a transit. But if it's like a lot that we just want to take the whole pallet, we'll probably use the lift gate for the other vehicle. But Xavier found a couple vehicles that actually had transits that have ramps in them. So, we might be able to, use the transit as well for the pallets and stuff like that. And it's a high top, so we can stand up as well. So, yeah, here's a spot. It's already paid for, I think. So the amount for this spot, the 2 parking spots, is $216.67, and that's per month. And then the storage, I think it was like $500. It's basically like a 20 by 20, 24-hour access to that spot is what really was the most appealing, and it has electricity. So we called the city of Austin, got electricity set up, and so we can now do things in there like power tools, power washers, all sorts of more possibilities and more things you have. So unfortunately, it doesn't have running water. So the solution that we got, I'm not sure if you can go back in the video, but in the corner we have like a 55-gallon barrel. We just go to a car wash, fill it all the way up to the brim, head back to the warehouse. So whenever we need some water, we'll just pull it from there. And when we need refill, we'll just go back out with the box truck with the lift gate. That thing does get very heavy once it's filled up. We'll go out and refill it up at like a car wash and stuff like that. But anyways, that's the whole thing. That's our new parking spot, and this is our new home here in Austin, Texas.
And here's a tour of our new box truck. Now, we did specifically select a box truck because we do eventually plan on offering everything that we already offer through Kelly Rentals Dallas, including tents and more. So we wanted a vehicle that can be there whenever we are scaling. And because tents require a lot of space, along with other things like throne chairs, we thought that a box truck would be best for us, because then we don't have to worry about purchasing a new vehicle once we get to that point.
So I don't know if you heard that, but it has a little beeping thing on the back, which is awesome. Yesterday, we took the liberty of painting our rims. I'm just doing little cosmetic things. Now it is still dirty. As you see, it needs to be washed. And but besides that, yesterday we did oil change, we did the air filter, we did the wiper blades, we filled up the reservoir. Today I'm gonna basically drain the radiator and get all the old coolant on it because it has some rust in it. I'm gonna put brand new coolant, fill it up with water, and then change out the spark plug. So this truck's gonna be ready to go. It only has 126,000 miles. It's a 2005 Chevy Express cutaway. And then here you can come see kind of the inside. Like I said, she's not a beauty queen and we need to wash it still and need to wash the inside. But it's the inside. As you see, it's a little dirty, but we are gonna get it clean. And a couple of things that we are gonna get redone is the headliner, which is at the top. You can't really see it. There you go. And then we're also gonna get the sun visors. So they have brand new sun visors, headliner. And then also on these Chevys, what's very common, and like you'll see all our trucks, this door part is broken. So we're gonna buy a new one of these. Each one is like 45 bucks. So it's this part and then the part that clips in there. So this is where you're pulling back and forth to close the door. So we're gonna get that replaced, get all this cleaned up, and yeah, it's good to go. AC works, so the guy told me that it works too good because he was falling asleep. Get a little safety mirror so you can see the load while you're driving. Here goes the Tommy lift gate that we have. Everything works, the lights. I'm gonna show you what
this is. Shit, at least he can lift 500 pounds, we know that.
Oh yeah.
Good find, like no easy. Look at all the damn racks in here. What's this?
Yeah, this is cool. I told you, I said, oh man, I'm gonna try this out. So basically what this is all of this is carpeted 2x4. So basically somebody got some 2x4s, wrapped it in carpet, stapled it. Because when I used to own a boat, they have bunks and they do the same thing. So like where the boat actually sits on top of it, they do that. But on this one, I was like, man, this is very cool. And I'm gonna start doing that on our trucks. So basically what they do is they have these tie down spots here. But one thing that I did know, and I never thought about this, but when I saw this, I was like, yeah, I see the solution now. Sometimes when you're in your load and you're actually strapping it against the wall, it's against the wall, it's also against this metal. So, you know, it's moving back and forth sometimes, and then it's scratching your stuff. So these carpeted bunks, or these carpeted 2x4s, basically prevent any scratching because you never get in contact with you know, the wood or the metal part. It's all carpet, and carpet's not gonna damage it. So it's one of those things we're gonna bring back to Dallas and kind of implement and start putting these things to help our load in the longevity of the equipment from being scratched and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So as you see, it has a whole bunch of places to tie down on. The only like downfall that I would say, like right here in this corner, it's a little rotted, and their solution was spray foam. And yeah, all we have to do is cut that out and put a new piece in there and drill it down. But other than that, everything else is really solid. I need to put a light bulb in here, it's missing one. But everything works, and the lights and everything really solid, and I'm very happy with the whole purchase.
What's this for here? This.
Oh, what, the hook?
Yeah.
Oh well, it came with the truck. Like you saw in the in the garage, like he had it full of these plastic containers, and all you do is you hook the container and you just pull it. That way, yeah. So you hook the one on the bottom and you just pull it out. So it came with that, and he said, well, I want to keep it here just in case I need it for something. So all right, go ahead, keep it here. There's broom and everything, so.
Yeah, and then you have one on the inside too?
Huh?
What's these buttons right here? Oh,
these buttons? So this one, you can actually connect it to that actual lift. He said he disconnected it because something about the policy on there that they wanted the operator to be off of the vehicle to operate it. So that's what that's for. And then this, he had because he didn't replace the light bulbs, so he had bought a little wireless remote and with a light, and he just put the light up there and it would turn on and off with it. So this needs to be removed. Yep, we'll just take it off. But other than that, it's pretty much the truck. Nice and solid. I like it a lot.
Now, if you've watched any of our previous videos, you'll know that you'd want to set up your inventory for success. This means neatly separating your inventory and making sure that you have easy access to what you always need. Here's how we decided to organize our inventory. Now, I did mention that labor was one of the primary points that we were focusing on whenever it came to costs down in Austin. So here's a sneak peek into our labor.
So long story short, So I have the title for the vehicle that we kind of did the walk around on. I've been waiting all these days to get a business card, which isn't the one that we really wanted, but we kind of did it like an emergency because as you know, when you're signing up your business, the process is a little bit longer. It's not like instant and you get it, and it takes like a week or so. So that's what we're doing. We're basically waiting for the business entity to be official, get our paperwork. With that paperwork, we're gonna go to the vehicle registration office and put the title into the actual company's name, because we don't want it in our personal name, because well, that's probably another episode. I've had a vehicle that was in my personal name and somebody hits it, and now I'm part of a lawsuit, which I have nothing to do with it. But anyways, so that's what we're trying to do. So I was kind of waiting around in Austin for that, and yeah, get these business cards. But it all worked out. I came over here because there was a lady that's kind of mean, and she's not here today, thankfully. But one of the other owners is actually here, so I talked to her, and I kind of got her interested. I kind of told her a story and what we're doing, and she's like, wow. And then we talked about my kids, talked about her kids, and basically I was building rapport. One of the videos a while back, we had mentioned that, hey, you want to kind of have a relationship with your vendors, or like if you're leasing a property or any kind of thing like that, because at the end of the day, they're gonna be able to bend the rules or help you out or make your life hell. So got with them and talked to them, and basically told them what we needed, and the whole reason why I've been actually staying here in Austin, kind of waiting for this whole thing to kind of get resolved. She's like, oh, you should have just told me, would I take good care of you? And I was like, oh crap. Well, I could have like saved my time, because I've been waiting for these business cards, which is another story. If you don't know by now, if you're just starting out, you're gonna have a lot of stories with your business and growing, and situations that people put you in. But yeah. So we finally got the business cards, but come to find out, we don't really need them, because I made it happen with talking to them, and they got the paperwork and everything. Because originally they wanted this title to be in the company's name, but I sent them over my insurance that was in the company name, and they said, oh, you're a business person, you're not gonna do any kind of legal stuff. And then I told them everything that we do with the software, the venues, with you guys consultating, making videos on YouTube. And then more so, they wanted us to do business, and they said, hey, don't worry about it, we'll take care of you. Obviously, you're gonna do everything legal.
If you like this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe so we could bring you more videos like this. And please stay tuned as we show you how we are going to build and operate our Austin location. And if you would like to know how you could do the same, please click the link in the description below for our free ultimate checklist. It was made by us, and we're going to show you all of the secrets on how we start, build, and grow our event rental business. So please check that out below. And if you're a rental business and need a software to help you operate and grow your business, then please click the link in the description below as well for a free demo of our More Pro software. This is going to give you everything from instant quoting, contracting, invoicing, anything that you might need for your business. So please check it out.